Another day, another mission for the Overlord. Glory to Kyros. Welcome back. Quick recap. I am some guy, accomplished Fatebinder, and I am on my way to read Kyros' Edict to the Archons, so they squash the rebels or everyone dies. This is where we are. But now I'm going to see why the soldiers are harassing this merchant guy. Do we have a problem here? Hail, Fatebinder, the disfavored scout nods at your approach. Camps on up ahead, don't mind us, just clearing out the rebel. I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll. But she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I am not allowed to trade one thing for another. It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. Well, technically, I think this place counts as either contested land or a war zone. Not the disfavored per se, but the Overlord himself. So, if you don't have permits, your goods are forfeit. Trade permit? Well, how was I mean, to whom would I speak for such a thing? Not us and not our problem. Maybe march your butt to Bastard City and plead your case before Tunon. But we'll lighten your burden and really view of your wares first. That should make the log track a bit more bearable. Well, I kind of have better things to do than argue the legitimacy of a single merchant. So I am going to be diplomatic and say this is none of my concern. Right you are. We'll take care of this vulture. The Crescent Runner nods to you with a knowing smile. Alright. I probably would have bought stuff from him, either now or at some other point. What's this? Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. Okay, what's that? The voices of Narat told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have it out. What's so special about you? You know, the voices of Narat is the Archon of Secrets, Spy Master, and Commander of the Scarlet Chorus. So, what do I tell you? First, I'm gonna ask, are you a spy? Oh, and then get me loyalty and subterfuge. At a loss for words, Verse regards you with momentary unease. Well, are you even surprised? He's the Archon of Secrets. Knowing in advance is his business. So is snatching up any advantage over Graven Ash. Those two compete like a couple of new recruits for a spot around the fire. It's nothing nefarious. The Voices is just curious why you're here. If he wanted to know more, he wouldn't be able to suss it out that easily. He would have sent one of his scarier peons in my stead. Fair enough. Don't really see the harm in telling her the truth. Here to deliver an edict from Kyros. That makes a crazy kind of sense. Considering how long the siege has taxed the armies, I can understand why Kyros would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says? Okay, now that I'm not going to tell you. If you're telling the truth, I suppose I'll hear about it soon enough anyway. She nods to herself. Okay, let's keep moving then. The war tent is just past the center of camp. She nods toward the northeast. One last thing. Be careful around these disfavored types. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. You're saying it as if you haven't. You didn't even have a helmet when I recruited you. Okay. Can I move around the place up here? There's usually stuff hidden. Places you wouldn't really care to look. So, here's a grave. Humble grave lies before you. Battered sword has been used as a marker.
A modest grave for the
Initial
Archon's son, Brennix. We don't bother with funeral rites in the chorus. No point in thanking conscripts for their duty.
Alright. I don't really see why you have to bury him outside the camp. Just inside one of the corners. Maybe put a little memorial slab for him. But if this is their way, this is their way. Alright. Gatekeeper, let me in. The gate guard holds up a warning hand. Go no farther. You approach this favored ground. State your business. I am some guy, Fatebinder of Tunon. I bring words from Kyros, words for your commander's ears. Ah, so you're the fire starter. Sebius and the companies returning from the burning library are telling some harrowing stories about Kyros' Edict of Fire. I think myself brave, but I'm happy to have been far away from it all. Must have been a terrifying honor to be the messenger of such righteous force. Go on in, the soldier gestures toward the gate. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent, center of camp. Here we go. The camp. Let's do what every RPG protagonist does and loot the place before going any further. Ooh, these gloves are better than the one I have. Let's see, extra deflection. And better unarmed damage. So, you're coming with me. You don't exactly need this. Very well. I need to get one more lore skill for this accent. And this accent. Let's keep them together. Let's see. Table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed. These are rabbits, looks like. Carefully skinned game hang from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. Before I get that, I have subterfuge. You don't. I think the plan is to let this get to 40 and then lock it. Don't really plan on being the sneaky type with him. Okay, here's the dagger and some fish. I can open this one too. Great spear. Lesser sigil of strength. I can learn this. Let's see. I can use this. That's a bit of damage. Nothing else. But I can work with that. Let's override this one. All right. Here's some meat. That's someone over here. Hail to you, guardian of the law. The man-dressed merchant finally greets you with a smile. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. I'll have you know I unburden myself twice a day. Maybe 3 times, depends on what I have for lunch. You know that if the disfavored suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to his collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look and see if something interests you. Alright then. Rubberwood stout. Extra damage. And the cost of accuracy. Cheese for everyone. Fish, fruit, grain. Okay. I don't have frost. I have to pick this up very quick. Flop trading so. Let's see. Anything. Going to part with this. And the dagger, I think. It's gonna be it for now. Actually, I'm going to sell this. Oh, I'll hold on to my ceremonial armor. Because why not? I can stock up on healing potions. Maybe get some fish. Bit of extra quickness never hurt anyone. Okay. These arrows are flashed with precision and care. That should be true for all arrows, actually. Okay, what's in here? Tower shield. Not going to use it, but I have it all the same. Okay, this is dagger, dagger, gloves. Nothing else here. Subterfuge. Almost at my limit. 39. Nobleman's tunic. It's basically worthless. Alright. And who are you? Isotani's curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Ah, the Fatebinder of Toulon. I would be in a worse spot if it wasn't for those slaves you sent our way during the conquest of Vendrian's Well. Right. Okay. Didn't know you would like that. But I have favor now. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. You can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike this stubborn iron we have here. Glances at the pile of his work with dread. And we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't the problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. They called this favor the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our clothes are made of iron. The good stuff that comes from the smith in Lathian's Crossing. Okay. I suppose he's not forging his own iron because there isn't infrastructure for it. Like this is just a temporary encampment. No one's going to haul an entire forge out here, I think. But you have an iron shortage? I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the Matani went missing near Echo Coast Crossing, and I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. Okay. Forge-bound iron is Toulon's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Okay, and the forge-bound are Mage Smith. Now the point I made was moot, because Forgebound are just using magic to make iron. Cheating bastards. Keep your voice down. Isotanis flinches and lowers his own. Bravenash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Ventrian guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. I suppose I'm going to find it. If I find myself in Echo Call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that, as does the Great General, more than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. Right. I am not going to badmouth the Archons. Not even a little bit. I'm going to handle this. I knew that Tunon wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. Wouldn't that make them bad gamblers? I was under the impression that gambling with low stakes is the amateur thing. He glances to a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. See that? That is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You want to keep your eye out for these. Good hunting. Right? Do you have anything I can use? It's the crushing stuff. The boots are better than what I have. Better recovery, extra disengagement defend. I'm taking this. Right, put you right here. How do I split this? No, shift click was stash. Here we go. Alt click. I'm gonna keep you at 5 potions. And you're at 5 potions. Gonna give you a fish. Put this fish in the stash. Don't know if I can use whetstone on my fists. Would be funny. Let's learn this. And let's learn this. Learn some frost. Okay, we get a side quest. Frost. This is a range increase. This is an area increase. Wait, I have 50 lore already. 38. Okay. Okay. This freezes. Kinda want that. Prime Spike deals more damage, but doesn't freeze for that long. So I think I'm going to go with this. And maybe amp up the freeze a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna go with this for now. Okay, moving on.
How'd you take a look at that?
Look at what? Ah, here we go. Here's the thing. Okay, and I reached for the subterfuge. Uncheck it. Maybe you can get up to 40 as well. Just so everyone is nice and even. Okay, some burn at the gem. Got some stuff right here. Okay. All right. Going in. Okay, I just got here. They are already arguing. How long will it take them to notice that I'm here? Well, looks like they haven't noticed me. But now they have.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. Large and imposing man to begin with, his profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. You hear the voices in your head. Well, hello there, Fatebinder. We'll be with you in just a moment. That's not creepy at all. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Noted. But I think I have to. I am here to proclaim Kyros' edict. The valley was sealed in preparation for this moment.
Did I give you permission to speak?
Too bad I did it anyway. The Archon of War turns to you, his blue eyes wide with anger. The many portraits you've seen depict Graven Ash with a stern, unamused countenance. He is even more taciturn in the flesh. Time to be diplomatic here. Apologies for the sudden entrance. I've traveled long to be here.
Welcome, Firestarter. We have been eagerly anticipating your arrival. Perchance you bring another of Kyros' edicts to savage the enemy?
Well, it looks like everyone liked being diplomatic.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kyros demands of us all.
On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the voices of Narat, furrowing his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. I come bearing an edict of Kyros.
For the second time, Brother Tunon selects you for the glory of proclamation. You should be honored. Tell us, what has the Overlord decided to unleash upon the Oathbreakers?
Kinda wanna be a little catty here. It seems you need some encouragement to work together. Kyros' edict will end the lives of everyone in this valley, unless Ascension Hall is claimed by Kyros' Day of Swords. The Day of Swords is the 26th. Very well. Well, Narat doesn't really like that tone of voice, alright? The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the thirsty phrased commandment. It's every syllable drafted by the hand of Kyros. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed. The tired limbs now clearly buoyant with vigor.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum.
I just
We
told
must
you.
conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive.
Again, I just told you that.
We'll need to advance across the Matani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to backup Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls, instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? A baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
The Archon of Secrets passes his scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. You hear the voices in your head. Watch him squirm. So many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You'd never see blood echo in a blubbering mess over a few dead killers. It used the knuckle bones of his best disciples for jewelry. He even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's ribcage, because that's how a real man deals with grief. Okay. Did he also wear the breastplate? Because that would mean his brother was quite a bit larger than him. Well, let's let them talk it out for a bit.
You make it sound like you've been putting even the slightest effort into getting a foothold across the Matani, when all you've done is set your gangs to uncoordinated raids. You're the Archon of Secrets. Why is it you still don't know the enemy's full strength and capabilities? Maybe you know, and choose not to share.
Look, if you're afraid to send more troops against the Oathbreakers, just admit that you're a coward and allow us to take charge of the situation. The Scarlet Chorus will be happy to prove it can do what the disfavored cannot.
I tire of your incessant heckling. The disfavored have shouldered the brunt of this war, and I will not have you mock our sacrifices.
Iron Marshal Arrhenius. My lord, Barik and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. And I will ensure the Chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the Chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
In which case, I'm going to make it through in 2 pieces. And you're going to carry one of them. The Archon twirls his scepter one last time, then taps the 5th eye on the shoulder and the 2 depart. Okay, what are your last words? You hear the voices in your head. Suit yourself, Fatebinder. The more you ignore us, the more you're going to annoy me.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kyros' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the Edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. Well, okay then. I would be honored to help. It's so easy to gain favor with these guys. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ash and turns to leave the tent. I will be at the training grounds, readying the soldiers. Find me there when you are ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the Chorus can likely use your assistance. I certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp, due east. Seek him out if you must. Okay, new tutorial, talking with companions. Okay, you can talk to them anytime, just by selecting the icon, the portrait. Companions will also interject their opinions into conversations you're having with other characters. How you respond to their statements will alter your reputation with that companion and others in the party. Alright. Just gonna make these go away real quick. Here we go. This battle report from Echo Call Crossing blames the failure of the assault on the village on the Scarlet Chorus. Apparently their scouts failed to report critical intelligence about the enemy composition. Okay, gonna make you open this. Get some more subterfuge. Iron sword. Some gems. I'm going to leave you to it. And now the quest is going to count down. I have 8 days to do this or everyone will die. And as long as I am part of everyone, I need to work to prevent that. Okay, who are you two? I am Lucia, this is Marcus. The disfavored soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the Fatebinder. From under her helmet, you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to babysit. Assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects, while you remain on this favored ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. What can we do for you? Okay, I can train with you all. Of course, Fatebinder. Okay, so I can train a limited amount of ranks for money. Okay, so you're going up to 45. Do I have only a 3 parry? No, that can be right. Oh, I see. I have 3 ranks in parry. The rest is from the stats. Okay, okay. Okay. So you're giving pure skill levels. And I have limited availability. What do you teach? Touch and athletics. I kind of got all those covered. I think. Maybe train this once. Oh, and it also gives me XP. Well, in that case, going to level up you. Keep my own level ups for later. Let's see. There's Shaker and Seveus. Okay, so there's something going on with Earthshakers. Fatebinder, some guy, am I right? I'm Seveus, commander and third generation disfavored. Specifically, I'm Seveus the Younger. Some folks can't keep track. The rank says commander, but lately I'm just organizing patrols and trying to stay out of the way. You should talk to Iron Marshal if you something official that needs discussing. Okay, I overheard you asking that Earthshaker where the reinforcements have gone. Is there a problem? I'm afraid so. Radix, the head of the Earthshakers, was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent spellslingers to help break this stalemate. I don't know what's holding up their arrival, and that worries me. If you were at all inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on our side. I could lend a hand. Could you? I knew that Tunon's agent wouldn't fail us in a time of need. I'll mark the last known site of our Earthshaker reinforcements on your map. Good hunting, Fatebinder. Farewell. Here we have the Iron Marshal. He has changed. Don't just cuddle the impact, push back with your shield. Take the momentum. Iron Marshal, Arrhenius, field commander of disfavored Panzer Fist in the air as she calls out to the warriors on the training field. I said eyes on your opponent's waistline. If you spend more than a glance checking his footwork, you've lost. The disfavored officer turns to you, adjusting her pale golden circle as she clears her throat. Need to stay on top of the troops or their skills will rust. It's for their own good, even if they don't believe it. Okay, what's with your surcoat? Okay, so you're the second in command. Okay, it was mentioned you're short on warriors and need help. What's the situation? I have brigades amassing along Blessed Echo Call and Little Tooth crossings. The Vendrian Guard may be able to hold one bridge, but they cannot hold against a concerted three-prong attack. I have no right to give you orders, but... Her words falter, a short cough breaking her flow. But we all die to Kyros' edict should we fail, so I am not about to let my pride blind me to the value of good health. Well, this is the second major attack on the river, correct? What happened last time? Defeat in detail. We carved a bloody path up to the river, but at that point, everyone who charged ahead was lost. We had no chorus backup. It was just a few disfavored squads. I can't tell you exactly how they were defeated, but we lost the whole assault team. She shakes her head, letting out a long pained sigh. We found bodies washing up in the river for days. It's not often that Tearsmen put up such a good fight. It certainly made us evaluate the number we'll need to take this valley. Really, are you sure our scouts didn't give you all sorts of details about the enemy and you just choose to disregard our warnings? I'm not taking sides in this. We can pass out blame after the war. Only the Oathbreakers matter now. Quite right. Getting our emotions into the mix won't hasten this campaign. But hopefully my assistance will. Then our plan might just work. The Iron Marshal lifts her gauntlet close to her face, shifting her eyes from you to the metal articulations. We are loath to work with those who do not share our training and our values, but we know that Tunon the Adjudicator selects only the most capable minds for his court, and I trust you will honor us, all on the field. Antio will be leading the charge at Echoco Crossing. Assisting you will be Barik of the Stone Shields. She points to a heavily armored soldier standing sentry at the edge of the training field. Before you ask, no, the Forge-bound weren't sloshed on Devil's Seed when they fitted his armor. He survived the full force of the Edict of Storms, and his armor doesn't exactly come off. Tactically, it's quite brilliant, but otherwise, it's something of a curse. So he got hit by lightning, and his armor just melted onto his flesh. Gnarly. Tapping her helmet twice, Raniel signals to the hulking presence. Barik, come meet the Fatebinder. The soldier that steps up to you better resembles an amalgamation of rusted blades and dispatched pieces of armor fused into a vaguely human shape. He reeks of sweat, feces, and whatever oil treatment keeps him flexible.
Fatebinder, the Iron Marshal has tasked me with keeping you alive, and I have no intention of disappointing her. That should be enough assurance for anyone.
An honor, truly.
Likewise, good Binder.
The soldier heaves a heavy iron arm into a salute, his whole body clanging as he wraps his gauntlet against the twisted sheets of metal that form his breastplate.
Eric, is that you under there? I had no idea you were in Vendrian's well. Fatebinder, do you know this walking anchor?
I know him as well as I knew anyone during the conquest. Which is to say, I have no goddamn idea.
That can change. When the tiers are fully under our command, I'll take you to whatever passes for a watering hole in this forsaken country. We'll drink the local swill to honor the fallen.
Forget the fallen. I know a great brothel in Lethian's Crossing where we can watch something rise, then fall, then rise again.
It's the sun, right? We're talking about the sun. We're going to camp out for one night, right? The Fatebinder will be joining us for the push across the river. I figured an extra hand might help. And more importantly, if my worries come true and the Chorus tries to impede the mission, we will have an observer from the court on our side.
Better to work with the Honorable Binder than some chorus children.
He nods to you, his armor creaking as he bends his neck. I ask that Barik accompany you there to arbitrate the cooperation between his company and the Scarlet Chorus. Barik, you've been without a cohort since the last battle on Stalwart. It's time we gave you a task more worthy than hauling wagons and leading training drills. If I remember, Stalwart was one of the places I could have gone to during the conquest. So if I actually went there, I probably would have known him. He would have reacted to me differently. She plants her hands on her hips and speaks in clipped official terms. Ash has assigned you to the Fatebinder service. You're to assume this task is ongoing until we find a more permanent spot for you, which could very well mean the swiftly approaching end of this war, or when the Fatebinder dismisses you. Is that understood? I suppose I could be in worse company than that of a renowned mage slayer. I have seen how this one treats any upstarts who fail to recognize the benefits of Kyros' peace. And he's referring to the time I dealt with the pyromancers. Though I would much rather attend to my duties here. That is, unless you're serious about my change of assignment, Iron Marshal. That's an order, Barrick. She shakes her head and sighs, returning her focus to you. He can be as stubborn as pulling a spire out of the earth, but he's a good soldier. I hope you don't mind the company. I'm not going to turn him away, if that's what you're asking. I am honored to have a member of the Iron Legion at my side. Excellent. I look forward to your success in the field. You're a big guy. Right. Let's see. I could go to the Scarlet Chorus camp. Or look for the Earthshakers. Or go straight to Echo Cold Crossing. Okay, and I can see the reputations now. Okay, so this lists all the notable stuff I've done. And how much it affected them. Okay, I'm pretty neutral towards the chorus. I'm doing really good with the disfavored. If I reach level 3, it's gonna give me a passive. Okay, so every 3 seconds I give everyone +1 resolve. It's a tiny bonus, but a bonus all the same. I actually have favor with the Vendrian Guard. It would be cool if I could just end this whole thing by befriending them. Okay, we got companion reputation. Reputation with the Archons. Let's see, you have 1 talent point. What should I give you? Okay, this would make her immune to engagement. This would be useful if I just wanted to run through the entire enemy formation and get to the back line. But then she would be in the back line alone. Okay, so after a kill, she gains double hit for a little while. sounds good, but it only activates when she gets the kill. And that might take a little finagling. Okay, let's see. Getting hit stacks up her parry and dodge. It doesn't actually say if the stacking has a limit. So theoretically I could just send her alone with enough healing potions and just buff her up until she's untouchable. It sounds a little cheap, but if it works, I guess. Let's see. This gives her a taunt. And then raged. Recovery is reduced, so they attack slower. They get more health, but lower will. Okay. Or maybe it's a hobble. Or a straight upgrade to Burning Arrow. Let's see. 17.5 seconds of burning. This is 5.8. Wow. That's quite an upgrade. Problem with that is I don't think I want any fight with any single enemy to take 20 seconds. Okay, extra armor penetration with bows. You're not even using a bow, right? Yes, you have a bow. Alright then. Okay, when only wearing light armor, plus 10 dodge. Okay. Really not a fan of these straight up stat buffs. Since I am going to get all of them anyway. But some extra penetration might save my hide some time. Okay, and you got 1 point. I think AoE taunt is a must. Then I'm going to decide what to do with you. Okay, let's see. You have sword and shield. And of course I cannot remove your armor for story reasons. You know, his armor fused quite conveniently. If it was from Kyros' lightning strike. Yeah. Okay, so your current shield is dodge heavy, and the tower shield is parry heavy. Okay, maybe at one point I would make you a new weapon set just for this. But for now you can keep this. Okay, let's see. You are very much not a subterfuge kind of guy. You're not going to need unarmed combat. Even though you do a hacking lot of damage with it. I will never give you magic stuff. And you will never do all wield. The rest is going to be debatable, I think. And now everyone has the Edict of Execution. We have one resolve, which we are going to need in order to not die. Okay. I'm going to give you just a tiny bit of more health. And gonna give you just a tiny bit of accuracy. Alright then. Looks like we're good to go. Oh, you're flashing. You have something to say. How did you do that? Verse looks at you with a quizzical expression. Do what exactly? Back in the Archon's war tent, you cast an edict as casually as reading a supply shipment. How did you do that? Well, I've done it before. You cast the Edict of Fire on the Vellum Citadel. I heard about it. How Kyros' anger raised the volcano from under the sage's own fortress. That was some impressive work. Yep, that was me, alright. Well, call me impressed. Considering that you've read the words of Kyros more than once, I'm surprised that you're even alive to tell of it. Your vocal cords should have turned to ash by now. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. It's just worth recognizing that what you've done. Not only are you Tunon's Fatebinder, you're the mouthpiece of the Overlord. Gives me plenty of reason to stick around. You're going places, and I want to see where they lead. It's good a reason to follow me as any, I guess. Okay, nothing more in the vicinity. Okay, here are the Earthshakers. Pretty far away. Here's Echo Call Crossing. And here's the Chorus Camp. Well, I think this whole shebang is going to go better if I have mage backup and the Chorus Camp is already along the way. Let's make a pit stop. Oh hey, ambush. Your path is blocked by a small group of Vendrian Guard. You can go no farther until you deal with them. Well, excuse me, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
That's far enough, Fatebinder.
A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint peek out from under her loose-fitting traveler's garb, and her outfit is festooned in braids and knots of sailor's line. Okay, here's the body paint. Special. Okay, so she's a tight caster. One of the southern mage schools you encountered. Oh yeah, I did deal with them. Got most of them killed. Or imprisoned by the voices of Narat. Flanked on either side by warriors dressed in Vendrian Guard regalia, the woman leans on an elaborate bladed staff pulsing with arcane energy. A swath of blue fabric rests draped over her arm. The blue flag is a symbol of diplomacy and truce recognized across most of the known world, and it is a custom the Tearsmen hold dear. To harm another person under the auspices of a blue flag is a grave offense. In both the Tears and in Kyros Empire, the customary punishment is death. Well, in that case, I am more than happy to do diplomacy.
Did the voices of Nurat send you to gather my head and complete his collection? If so, we'll have to save our tussle for another time. Today I have business. Vengeance can wait.
Right, so I did do diplomacy with the Tidecasters. She is just one of those that resisted. Alright then.
You may have consigned my school to a fate worse than death, but you've done well by the Vendrian Guard. Many of them are alive today thanks to the truce you forged years back. They seem to think you have a trace of nobility in you. Here's hoping they're right. In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
The woman bows deeply, lowering her head in a practiced display of etiquette. The warriors by her remain in the ready stance, their nerves clearly on edge. In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I abide by this truce.
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kyros' way, but we must have hope. A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
Well, Tarkus Deimos is the guy I ordered executed, and then they decided that the manner of execution was to crucify him. I did not like that part. But like, in-game only a couple hours have passed, so if that was an option, it would be nice if I could offer to go back and check whether he's alive or not. Well, if I lie, I think I'm going to get caught. At some point. So I'm just going to tell her. Tarkus Deimos is dead.
I see. That is as I feared, but thank you for telling me all the same. I prefer closure to wishful thinking. If I may make one more inquiry, what of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Is that the guy I got killed? Though you rarely have the luxury of matching names to the countless Tearsmen you've encountered, you are reasonably certain she is asking about the Vendrian Guard warrior that took Drastus hostage at Edgering Ruins. He did not survive the encounter. Alright, he was that guy. I tried to negotiate for him to drop his blade. At the moment he did, the other soldiers killed him. Right, I remember. Well, I did try the diplomacy. Can't blame that on me. Well, he is also dead. She nods slowly, saying nothing for a long moment.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
Well, sorry you did not find what you were seeking.
Then all that remains is for me to thank you for hearing me out. In accordance with our ancient customs north and south, let us part with peaceful accord.
She bows curtly, never letting her eyes leave yours, before turning to leave. A moment later, the bodyguards turn to follow. Well, that just happened. That's some vagrant chow. That's quite the athletic stuff. You might even say it gives you the rounds, eh? Some beast blood pollen. There's a soldier's arm at the bottom of this pond.
I'd say that's worth a second glance.
What's this? Some more gems. Your subterfuge is coming along. Is there anything here? Here's a sword on the ground and I can't just take it. Worst game of all time. 0 out of 10. The grasslands of the Tier stretch far throughout the land. Much of it remains uninhabited and unclaimed by any faction. Okay, now I'm going to the Kyros camp. Time to look around. Great axe. It can go that way. This has got to be the least practical way of staking someone. Like, what even is keeping him up there? Okay. They are bickering for some reason. Let's see what we have over here. Some heavy armor. Is there anything more? No, doesn't look like it. Okay, now let's see what this is about. Yes, quiet, Shiv. It proves everything. The warrior slams her fists together in a resounding clap. Like, for instance, whether you're fit to lead that flock of children. Behind her, the members of her gang posture with weapons held at the ready. Did you not hear the news of the Edict? This is a foolish distraction. We ought to be saving our fight for the enemy. The chorus warrior looks to his gang, giving them a quick nod. Alright, what's all this then? No problem here, Lord Binder. She tosses her blade in the air, catching it with a smile on the way down. It seems he's about to walk from his challenge. He thinks just because he used to run a ship, he's qualified to run a gang. She spits on the ground, looking up with a scowl. So I'm calling him out. Because the way I see it, his warriors ought to follow me, not this new blood. Okay. If we have to prove our strength, we do so happily, but I'll have your hands and feet removed and the rest of you kept for my own use. Rose. Okay, I'm going to let you go at it. Soldier offers a quick solemn nod. Come, who of you will be first to meet my blade? The gang leader tosses her knife from one hand to the next. Okay, so... who won this exactly? I don't think I kept track. And you're not going to tell me, I think. Well, that's just life. With the Scarlet Corpse, I guess. The guard places her hands by her belt as you approach, gripping the hilt of the blade. Past this point is Kyros territory, and you don't look like someone's conscript. You sure you're in the right place? I'm always in the right place. The guard tenses up, locking eyes with you. That walking hunk of rust. What's he, she, maybe it doing here? He's an allied warrior and my guard. You don't want to make an issue of this. Fine, just come on in. I'm sure the Fury will gut you if you're really a problem. The guard half-heartedly waves you in as she nods the words. Well, I got in. Ooh, here's a scroll. And I learned. Sigil of Illusion. What does it do again? This is blur. I could boost it up. Then give this to Verse. Since she already has a dodge stance. This will work, I think. And maybe I just give simple unmodded frozen gas. But Barrick, to get him to the bare minimum lore skill so I can give him maybe a support spell or two. Here's a force bit. Does raw magic. Knocks them prone. That could be nice. Doesn't last very long, but I think I'm going to just try it, see how this works. Oh, I have a missive. The Will of Kyros. Okay, so I got a letter from my boss, it looks like. Some guy. Word has reached this court that you have issued the Overlord's Edict to the Archons of War and Secrets. Know that we understand fully the weight of this burden and appreciate the loyalty you show in this declaration. Provided you survive this span, your service will be duly recognized. Bit better. As you navigate the idiosyncrasies and mutual antipathy of our Overlord's War Masters, remember that Kyros watches all with interest. And maybe amusement. I really hope not. Those who distinguish themselves, whether Fatebinder or Archon, have the opportunity to rise in the Overlord's esteem. Even now, the northern courts whisper that the more successful of the two Archons will be granted rule over the whole of the peninsula. Similarly, your fortunes rest upon the decisions you make. Choose wisely. Tune on the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice. Alright, so I can reply, thank him, or request clarification, or express dissatisfaction. Well, I am not going to complain to my boss on my first job in here. I'm not going to request clarification because I don't think he's going to give any. Probably in court fashion, going to give an answer that doesn't really say anything. So I'm just going to thank him. And here is the reply I will send. Archon Tunon, allow me to express my deep appreciation for this opportunity. Few in the Empire have the honor of treating with Archons, and fewer still of reading the empowered words of the Overlord. I endeavor always to emulate your exemplary foresight and judgment, while remaining in all things a faithful servant. Fatebinder, some guy. Alright, this sounds appropriately bootlicky. Going to send it. One day later, we're going to know what he thinks of it. Yeah, what else? Let's see. Discovered Fury armor. That's what you have, right? Yes, but it's even better. For some reason. Let's see. You don't need these bracers. Okay, these gloves are better. They're the same as mine. So I'm just going to switch these. Okay, so the light leather and the heavy leather are completely identical. I really don't get it. Okay, so this is worst exclusive. We're going to hold on to this. This was Slash Piggers. Okay then. I can work with this. Okay. Let me just check this very quick. And this. Yoink. Okay, I'm halfway to level 3. You are level 3. I just started level 2. The spears are brittle and rusted. Snickler Degas. With a name like that, what else could he be but a sleazy merchant, right? Upon noticing your approach, the merchant, see, told you, straightens his posture and smiles. What an honor! The name Snickler Degas, originally from the relative tranquility of the Northern Empire, have since accepted a nomadic life for the sake of keeping Kyros' forces supplied with only the finest goods, local and imported. In other words, whatever you can loot around here. I get you, I get you. Let's see what you get. Okay, it's a javelin. It's a fire staff. One of those might be nice at some point. Okay. Let's see. I have 16 bronze. I want to get this vigor and precise action. I can almost read this. This would turn magic into a cone shape. Yes, area attacks are important to me. Let's see. Don't want you. Don't want you. Don't want any of these. Don't want the junk. But the other stuff I'm going to keep. And here we are. Let's see. I'm gonna read this. And I got lore. So I'm going to learn this. And gonna learn bigger. Let's see. This increases accuracy. This turns it into a goal. Okay, vigor is a buff for single target. Damage debuff. In a cone. That might be good at some point. Okay, let's see. Do I want to trade damage? Okay, let's see. No, because this doesn't interrupt. This only debuffs shock resist. Okay, so I would need to combo it, which I will not do for the time being. Alright. Need to shoot some more magic for that. But lore is looking pretty good. Actually, I could just give you Rhyme Spike. That does stupidly high damage for what it is. Even though it checks against dodge. Well, it's worth a look. Let's see.
What'd you take? Good thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
Open this. 38 subterfuge. Got some rot spear. And what have we here? Rust diamond sword. Battle plans. Okay. Looks like I have looked around well enough. I'm going to stop right here. Next I'm going to talk to Fifth Eye, and then be on my way. To find the mages, I think. Well, thanks for watching. See you next time. Have a good day. Glory to Kyros.